One day I stumbled upon a powerful quote attributed to Dr. Mike Murdoch. He said, "Stop looking at where you have been and start looking at where you can be." Many people are trapped by their past. But hear this: any mind that is married to the tradition of the past and never perceived the path to greatness. The difference between people that succeed and people that are stuck is this: the courage to let go of their past. And this is a key point with Dr. Victor Markus, where we inspire growth, excellence, and purpose, one point at a time. Now, I have some few points again today that I've taken or I wrote down to be able to help you out on how you can be able to break free from the past. Now, the first point on how you can be able to break away from your past is one, to acknowledge and accept what happened. This is powerful because most times I have met with many young people, students, and several people. And one of the problems I have seen them having that is difficult for them to move forward is that they have not come to terms to accept that has happened. So there is a form of denial from the inside. They are trying to become somebody else and trying to compare themselves with other people, and because of that, what they are trying to hide, because that lack of acknowledgement and accepting what has happened, they feel as if is something that will help them. In the process, what they do is that they try to hide what happened to them, and that hiding try to make it look as if something like that never happened. And just denying it or ignoring it does not solve the problem. So first and foremost, you have to acknowledge that the problem you are facing, it happened. The challenges or the challenge you are facing, it happened to you. Whether it was caused by someone or it was caused by you, the issue is that it has happened. And there's nothing you can do about the past. It has happened. So stop denying it, stop suppressing it, and accepting and acknowledging that you have such a problem already is a step toward healing. So the second point, that after accepting and acknowledging that this problem exists. You see, it's like going to a doctor, and before you can be able to help a patient, if you're a doctor, of course, you have to diagnose the problem. If the problem is not found, oftentimes it's difficult to be able to know how to go, how to treat the disease. Because if you don't know that the disease exists in itself, I have seen cases whereby somebody will go to hospital for a long period of time. The person knows that something is wrong with him, but there's no diagnosis. Nobody knows what is the problem. So acknowledging or understanding and knowing that you have a problem already is a step toward healing. So the second point is that you have to forgive yourself and forgive others as well. Why I say forgive yourself? Because some of the problems are actually for our own making. So if you're the one who caused the problem, sometimes there's a way, or you made the mistake, there's a way you keep holding yourself ransom, and you don't forgive yourself. And as well, also, whether it was the problem was caused by you or the problem was caused by others. You need to forgive. You need to forgive others. I mean, this is one of the challenges that I think I've seen over and over with many students, and that is crippling them. And of course, not just only students, but with many other people, many people, they find it very difficult to forgive those who have offended them in one way or the other. I know sometimes the things that people did to us could be very crude, but you must understand that in forgiving, is not just a favor to those people who offended you, but actually is an advantage toward you. Because when you keep holding someone in mind, bitterness actually is already a chain that keep you in the past. Bitterness is a chain that keep you in the past. So forgiving and letting these people go, and removing them, releasing them, is an important step toward healing and toward letting go of your past and moving forward. So it is very, very crucial that you do that. So when you forgive, you are not actually trying to excuse the wrong. No, you're not excusing the wrong. So many people think that, oh, should I just forgive like that? Should I just forgive like that? No, you're not just excusing the wrong when you forgive. What you are doing is that you are you are you are you are you are creating a path for your progress. You are really creating a path for your progress. And what happened is that you are actually also releasing heavy weight from yourself to be able to move faster and better ahead, to do those things that are in today that will shape your future. Now, the third thing I will mention, or the third point, very powerful, is that you have to change how you see failure. You have to change how you see failure or the problem. Now, after you've forgiven people and after also you have acknowledged the problem is there, and now you want to focus on redefining what has happened. And this is where so many people have some problems. One of the problems is that they try to play victimhood in the sense. There's no future in everyday becoming a victim or living and thinking you are a victim. And you have to start thinking like someone who is a victor, someone who is a winner, for you to be able to move ahead. There must be an inner transformation, an inner change of how you see the problem before you can be able to move. Because, but when you own the problem, some people say, my problem, my problem. No, it's not your problem. It's a problem that happened to you, and you don't want to own any problem, but you want to own victories. You want to own great results. And so change the way you see the failure or the problem. And how do you do that? First, you have to pick out the lessons instead of you to be regretting always, or to be going over and over thinking about the problem again and hating and having bitterness. Why won't you again see, okay, this thing has happened. How can I be able to see better? How can I be able to learn from these problems that has happened to me, or the mistakes I have done, or the pain that somebody has caused me? How can I learn? Which lesson can I learn from these? And then you write them down. Okay, I can learn this. I can learn that. I can learn that. Most times, those people that were able to do that often use their failure or problems as a gain. The fourth point, which I want to point out here, is that focus on the future. Focus on the future. Focus on the future. And this cover a vision. There's no hope in the past. There's no, the future is not in the past. Of course, there are many good things that has happened. We can learn from our past. We need. One time, a student met me, and she's a PhD student, and she just graduated, and then we're just discussing, okay, what next? And she looked blank. She doesn't know what to do. And I said, what do you mean? What led you to starting a PhD program? Of course, PhD should be something that will lead you to achieve something. And she told me the reason why she she enrolled for a PhD program was because she wanted to prove some people in her community that she can do it. Some of them were looking down on her when she was growing up, and they told her also that nothing will come out of her, and that was why she took up the challenge and now say, "I will read and study till PhD." Well, that's a weak vision. To run, don't allow your problems or pains to determine the future or to define the future, meaning that that vision to prove someone wrong is actually a weak vision. And that's why you will also get stuck at some point. So decide that you're going to change or focus on a future that is not defined by the problem or is not shaped in a wrong way by the problem. So most times I see many people, they want to get married because somebody have told them something, and so they want to prove some people wrong, and that's why they're getting to they're getting into marriage, or they want. So my advice is that instead of you to want to prove some people wrong, can you focus on a bigger vision that improves lives, bigger vision that helps to put smiles in the faces of people. These are visions that will outlive you. Look for a vision that outlives you, vision that you will do and leave legacies. That way you will be able to move away from your past. That is very important in this. So clearly, this is important. Now, the fifth point I want to mention is that take small, consistent steps forward. Now, this is the reason why I said small steps. Take small, consistent steps forward. Now, the issue is that progress doesn't necessarily mean that you have to take great and large steps, but it just means that you are taking consistent steps. So take small steps because you don't want to rush into starting to do things that are beyond your strength, because when you do things that are beyond your strength, and you fail, it will again reminds your mind of the terrible past in which you are trying to break free from. So what I advise is that take small steps but consistent step forward, and that way for every small step you take is a progress, and that trains your mind, that grooms your mind to believe in the progress, as well also to see there is light ahead. It also inspires you for every success. It will become like a cycle, a consistent cycle of positive learning or positive achievement. So the more you achieve, the more you want to achieve. So those small steps are actually a motivation for you to succeed as well. So, and this is why you have to start from where you are. Don't try to copy someone else. Don't try to see and compare yourself with another person. Just start from where you are. Then another important point is that just start with what you have, because don't try to go and borrow things and do that and do that. Remember that I said it's not good for you to try to prove someone wrong, because in trying to prove someone wrong, you will be trying to move and act to show off or to display something. But you're not in competition with anyone. And the focus is that you want your life to move forward so that your life will become a hope or a blessing. Now, the sixth point is very crucial, is that surround yourself with people that are supportive. Surround yourself with supportive people. This is very important. One thing I think that is important is that you need to know that the environment you are matters. And it's something that I think I've talked to a lot of students, and sometimes they don't used to hear me. But sorry, because when I say student, because that's my constituency. I teach in the university, so most of my experience with students, with young people. So if you're an older person, don't just understand me. Thank you. So what I'm trying to say is that they don't seem to see that they can be impacted by other people. So sometimes they make a statement like, nobody can be able to influence me. No, nobody can be able to influence me. But the truth is that all of us are product of influence. What we are today, or who we are today, is actually a product of other people. We learn from our homes, we learn from our parents, we learn from our teachers, we learn from our environment, and all the point. Even today that we are talking about AI, machine learning, is being trained by the things that people have done. So what I'm trying to say is that that's the same thing also. We have been trained, we have been conditioned by the product of many people. And so don't take lightly actually your environment, those people that are around you, because they will influence you. Yes, people said, I will choose whatever I want to choose. That's exactly true. You can choose, but the way to choose it is by determining those who are around you. Because if you choose the wrong people that are around you, you're going to get into problems. You're going to get into problems because definitely the problems of those people will influence you. So never forget this, that we are all product of influence. Get books that are supportive, books that uplift, that inspires. Read about biographies, people that are doing what you want to see yourself doing. Just just look at them, read about them. They're going to inspire you. They're going to inspire you. You must know that you have to put those effort, because everything you are doing today, in fact, there's a point that one of my friends here, a lecturer, often said that your future is an enlarged version of what you are doing today. So if you don't want to see yourself in a different place, then you have to check what you are doing, because your future is an enlarged version of what you are doing today. Now, the last point I want to make when it comes to how you can break free from your past, that's the seventh point, is replace the negative memories with positive practices. Positive practices. Because when we're talking about the issue of breaking free from your past, of course, your memory is full of these problems or the failures you have. But how do you ensure that what you have in your mind is not going to hinder you? Is that as they resurface, because time to time, many things in the environment as you keep walking will trigger those memories back. So once these memories resurface, what you need to do is actually to counter them with positive practices. And how do you do that? You, for example, when you remember, instead of you to start regretting, start thanking God that you are still alive, that you are still, you have a chance in life, or appreciate that you are still alive, that you are not dead. Many people have passed through the challenges that you have passed, and they are dead. So, or pray. These are practices that you can do, or pray about it, or write some point, or journal. Because the more you empty your mind or something, or meet someone, a counselor to talk with, or people to talk to. These are practices that you have to keep doing them, to keep involving yourself with, to be able to break free, because these memories will resurface at the as you go about your day-to-day affairs. They can be triggered. So when they are triggered, what do? Because you can't allow them to keep shaping your day, to keep shaping how you see life generally. So the best thing to do is to counter those serious and terrible memories with better things or better practices, by showing that you're grateful for even the opportunities you have. So focus your mind not on the problem, but focus on your mind, at least for those things in your life that are working. Can you just appreciate that you are able to have this, that you're able to have that, that you're able to have this, that you're able to have that? Can you name those things that are? And in most cases, some of the problems we have in our life are actually maybe probably one or two or three. But there are so much, there are so many things that are good in our life. Many things that if we sit down and begin to pin down all the things that are beautiful in our life, will definitely overshadow those bad memories. You can pray, as I said, and that way you can be able to break free from the shackles of the past. Now, lastly, there are very important point I want you to remember as I close. Two important points. The first important point is that breaking free from the past is not a one-time event. Breaking free from the past is not a one-time event. It's a daily choice. It's a daily choice. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. The second point is that letting go is not about erasing your memory. It is about refusing to be controlled by it. So what I'm trying to discuss in this video is not trying to erase your memory, especially if you pay attention to the last point I was making. What has happened to us, sometimes we will stay with it for the rest of our life. Those who are stuck in the past are those whose problems or whose failure control them. One thing you don't want to is to allow your problems to control you. So you can have the problem in your mind, but they are no longer having any effect again in you. And that is where I want you to be. That even though you have these experiences, these failures, these mistakes, but they do not control you, or they will not control you.